at this. What is this? Come on. What are you doing here? Give this man a cigar. Would you give him a cigar? Look, okay. The baby's gonna smoke a cigarette. You see that?
Crazy.
This is how silly things get when you let government take over everything. Unbelievable. That kid's gonna grab a cigarette. Here you go. This is for you.
Whoa!
Instead of cigarette. No more cigarette. Cigar.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Now you're
Spreading cigar culture all through the world.
We are.
Take a puff.
We are Privada.
And because of you guys, now we're going from here, we're going to Budapest, and then we're going to Berlin. They saw you guys enjoying these things, and they said, okay, it's time to bring them over. So I think that's how things spread, right?
fuck you, man.
We made this cigar for a Norway party called the Norwegian Legion.
I'm a fan.
Not bad, pretty good.
Hooligan. Okay.
Listen to that sound.
That's amazing.
You can't experience that in the United States. Ever.
We're too important. We're not gonna listen to you.
What is up with that shit?
And this is for all the Privada members worldwide. Thank you. So we believe that this picture this is the most famous picture on the wall now, and this picture depicts the leaders of both sides making out, which is pretty ironic and cool. That's something that I would do if I was an artist, just to be a pain in the ass and see these two powerful guys have to look at each other kiss every day. Maybe I should do that on a cigar band. All right. Well, that's it. That's the intro. What do you guys think? We've been in Europe so long, we're almost European. But I'm a peon. I did just a... All right. So, hey, I need a lighter. Someone stole my lighter. Okay, so we are here tonight to commence upon smoking the Cuban sandwich. Now, I realized as soon as we put this out, it was probably a bad idea to call this the Cuban sandwich, even though this is for the Cuban sandwich, because in the cigar industry, particularly days of old, they had a name for like short filler cigars that were in between long filler cigars, some weird situation, and they would call it a Cuban sandwich. And today we don't do that. I mean, we don't do that. I don't think Privada, Clark, has Privada ever had a short filler cigar? Yeah, so we've never had short filler cigars, so we didn't think about that. Someone mentioned it to me in the comments, and I wanted to point that out, that this is one of the finest cigars you're going to get your hands on. 2-year age, box pressed, Esteli, Nicaragua, sun-grown Habano. I mean, just truly a phenomenal cigar. So I look forward to these lives every month, and I'll tell you why. This is becoming the only time that I can really interact with a lot of you. And most of the people that are here are a part of the core group that kind of made Privada what it is. And so as Privada grows beyond, our control, our, realm of our community, this is a great time that we can get together and talk and communicate openly. We've always been extremely transparent here. And I don't mind answering questions, serious questions in a live format. So it's really cool to be here with you guys and talk about cigars and smoke a good cigar together. So we're here. If anyone has any questions, please shoot them. I just want to talk about if you were at PrivadaCon 2, you got to eat the Cuban sandwich that inspired this cigar. Huge shout out to Josh Markle for helping me make this cigar art come to life. He made this band with me, and I love it. I love it so much. I think someone should start a Cuban sandwich shop with this logo and branding. It's really, really cool. Hear that torch there? Some gentle ASMR. Putting you to sleep with my cigar torch. Oh, you hear that? It's a little turbulence right there. You see how it lit up? That's how you know you're lit. What do you got for me, Mr. Bronca? Mr. Bronx is in the building. My boy Big Rob in Louisiana. What was your favorite cigar from PrivadaCon? It's a really, really hard question, Rob. And shout out to you. I know you. For those of you that don't know, Rob has lost an extreme amount of weight. He's inspiring me every day to be better. And his wife Jenny is amazing. These are people that I consider good friends, and I'm grateful to have you guys in the community. The truth is that every single cigar at PrivadaCon to me is a banger in its own right. Look, the Oman, this is your $20, $30, $40, Cuban style, in that same Padron, Davidoff, Byron, Atabey, kind of category, right? De Crossier. And then we had the two box press cigars. One was the Blue Diamond Almond, which I can't legally sell. So that kind of makes me like that a lot because I can't sell them. We did get permission to use them as Blue Diamond kind of sponsored the event. And shout out to them. Shout out to my boy Anthony out there in California. This is definitely on the list. And I'll tell you why I think that. What else was in the pack, William? We had the Fire Pig, the Cafecito. Cafecito was amazing. Oman. Chocolate covered lemon was also amazing. I would say this because this is all around just like it goes with everything. It's a really good cigar. And if you watch the video where we released these or talk about these, that was about 3 or 4 weeks prior to PrivadaCon 2. James Rivera, my man, I love that bucket. Have you ever thought about releasing something with Puerto Rican tobacco or a series of cigars based on New York City? My man, New Yorkers and Puerto Ricans, my Boricuas, hold a special place in my heart. I am an honorary Puerto Rican. There's no question about it. A lot of people don't know my life story, but I was out in the street as a very young kid, and Puerto Rican people took care of me and taught me the ropes, I guess. Yes, since day one, Puerto Rican tobacco has been in my mind and in my heart, and I'm getting very, very close to being able to do it the right way. There are a couple companies out there that do it, but in my humble opinion, they're not doing it quite the right way. And so you'll see what I mean when it's ready. But I've met some very special people in Puerto Rico, and we are working on a project. It's going to take a little more time, but it's coming. So thank you for the question, James. I knew you had great style for a reason, homie. Michael Sanjak, any beverage recommendations for tonight? So I'm doing the Liquid Death because they're so good to us. We appreciate Liquid Death. I mean, you know, when in doubt, water, sparkling water, non-flavored sparkling water. But I can tell you like this. When you're smoking a Habano traditional style cigar, right? So we're going to talk about Habano as traditional, right? So then we have Maduro and we have Connecticut, untraditional. Whenever you're smoking a good Habano, now Habanos can taste a rainbow of flavors, right? But for the most part, you're going to want to go with an apricot tea. You're going to want to go with a peach. You're going to want to go with a coffee. You're going to want to go with, I really like teas, apricot teas with a little honey with my Habano cigars. So raspberry Snapple actually, I think, is so refreshing and goes really well with a good Habano cigar like this. This is a real Nicaraguan cigar, man. This is what's putting Nicaragua over the top right now. Sean, I thought I looked good with the baldy today, man. I'm finally confident enough to just rock the baldy. You want me to get the hat? What are you trying to say, Sean? So, Cliff, shout out to you for a great question. My best advice for how to store cigars in dry climates like the West Coast, right? Because I've spent a lot of time on the West Coast as well, and I've stored cigars on the West Coast. And, you know, it's a challenge, man. Wherever you go in the world, cigars are going to smoke differently. And that, to me, is the most challenging part of cigars. It hurts my feelings at times because I write these beautiful tasting notes. And while they're fairly accurate in most climates, there are some people that live, hey, even if you're on the West Coast, if you're down by the shoreline, like, you know, in Montecito or something like that, that cigar is going to smoke different than if you're up in the mountains in Bear Mountain, right? Or something like that. So it's to answer your question quickly, though, is coolers, higher level Bovedas, or two-way humidification of whatever kind you can get. If you find that your cigars are getting dried out, even in those conditions, what you want to do is get some paper towels, get distilled water at the store or boil water, and then wet paper towels, okay? Don't put them directly on the cigars. Put them in that cooler. Try it for a day or two. You can easily get mold by doing that, so you don't want to overdo it. But if you find that you're really lacking, you're using your humidimeter, shout out to the humidimeter guys, and you're not getting the levels of humidity that you want in the cigar, in the cap of the cigar, right? You want to test the cap. You're going to need to do that quickly to get you back to where you are and then raise your level of Boveda. So if you're using a 69, go up to a 72. Something wrong with even using a 75. I'll tell you why in that condition, because when you pull it out of the cooler, it's drying out rapidly, instantly. So be careful, but that's how I would do it. This is my brother, my tattoo crew member. Love you, bro. Another Boricua in here. What project has got you most excited for the second half of 2024? I would say the project that I'm doing with. There's a few of them, Harry, and I think I'll be able to get it out in the second half of 24. But Santana and I are working with the Leon family, Omen and Andre, and man, I always forget the other brother's name. Super cool cat. We're working on a project that is dedicated to the beginning of cigars, basically commercial cigars. I don't want to get too far into it because people will steal the idea, but that's what I'm most excited about. It's going to be one of the first things that I ever put in a wooden box. I'm also working with a family, a growing family in this industry that we're all a huge fan of, and I'm getting to work directly with them, and we're putting that in a box. And then and that's going to be a European release. And then I'm also working on a few things with Mr. AJ Fernandez. Some new things, some exciting things. And he loves the love that you guys are giving him online, and he wants to keep impressing you guys. So we're getting very lucky. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the people that are making cigars with AJ, their prices are up, and away, man. They're $18 cigars now. So we're in a really good position to get some of his best stuff and not have to break the bank for it. So who's this? Harvey Dean. Question. Looks like a cigar smoking couple there. That's very good. Question. The end, did Pana start at the house and now is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yes. Pravada did start at my house. Yeah. It started as an idea at one point. Then it started in an apartment, but it really didn't get started until I was in that house in Orlando. I had a friend helping me ship in Lakeland before that, but really we didn't get our real start until that garage. Yeah, so it was definitely bittersweet leaving that. Thanks for asking that. Ravi, when can Canada expect the LCA to get there? Clark, what do you say, Mr. Clark? Bro, Paul Stulak and the Chief are helping us so tremendously up there. Paul Stulak's one of the best people I've met in this business. He's a super human being and just a great guy. I look forward to spending any time I can with Paul. I haven't met the Chief yet, but I got a lot of love for him and his family, him and his son. They're really helping us grow this movement. They're going to be creating a page on their website. Am I allowed to say that? They're going to be creating a page on their website just for Pravada products. And that is exciting. And so you're going to have better access and you're going to be able to order those products directly from the Chief. So you order from him, he ships them out, and they get to you. There's no 3-tier shipping system. LCA, we're practicing at one shop in Halifax. And it went extremely well. So now we're figuring out how we're going to be able to do this and keep you guys up to date with us. So it's not easy, man. It is not easy. And there's not a lot of profit involved. There's multiple parties and stuff. So we're doing this because we love Canadian cigar smokers. We love cigar smokers, period. And we're spreading this movement, right? Obviously, I'm building a company here. Obviously, I take some money home at the end of the day. This is my business. But this has never, I realize more and more the more mature I get that this was never driven by money. This is driven by culture and legacy and now telling other people's legacy. So that's happening. It's just going to take a little bit of your patience. I appreciate you. Jibby Jabba He Mehet. Did I get that right? Question, is the Cuban Sandwich LE or is it going to be regular production? So the Cuban Sandwich that you're smoking right now is LE. I mean, if you guys tell me, hey, I need you, I could make more of these, right? And so I think that's the case with a lot of our cigars where it's like, yeah, we could go back and make another batch. I don't think they could ever be regular production the way a Fuente or a Perdomo or, you know, some of the you know, Tatuaje stuff. I don't think it could ever be a regular production like that. But we're a small community right now. And if you're in tune with this, you can get your hands on what you want. And when they're gone, maybe 2 years from now, 3 years from now, we could release it. But these are 2 years aged. These have been sitting in the coolers for 2 years plus. So you won't get this exact cigar because it won't have that age on it. How different will it be? 8 versus 10, right? It's not going to be a huge difference, but there's going to be a 20% difference in either direction. Big Country Briar. Let's hear about this stick. Tasting notes. We have a beautiful cedar in this. This is, when someone talks about cedar, this is a cigar you want to give them. If they say they love that cedar, it's beautiful. It ends in a black pepper finish. That finish, if you're using a little bit of those retro sinus, you know, you're getting that black pepper, right? And a little tingle on the mouthfeel even. That's the black pepper. I'm also getting a little more subtly, but a charred caramel, right? So like a burned sugar, brown sugar, deep, maybe with a little bit of butter. It's been in a pan and it's got a little bit of burnt quality to it. The smoke texture is velvety to creamy. and then right up front, I'm going to lose some of you guys, but I'm getting like a mustard seed and some sort of like sesame to almost like the beginning of a vinegar, but it never gets sour, right? There's something, I want to call that like a mustard seed kind of thing, right? Not mustard, but like the mustard seeds. They're almost like peppercorn kind of situation. It's horseradish on the retrohale? For sure. But I still say black pepper more, but if someone told me I get horseradish, that's what I would know. I knew exactly what you were saying, the retrohale. Yeah, for sure. Ted, it's at Duggar's in Halifax. Put on your cape and go out there. I always imagine Halifax like where vampires live. I don't know why, man. I think about fucking Paul. He's up there. He drinks at night by the waterfront, and you know, some guy comes and grabs your neck, and well, you can call Paul an elder emo, which is pretty close to it's something like that. Tyler Morgan, my brother, man. Shout out to you. God bless you. I just hit 4 years with the club. Best choice I ever made. It keeps getting better. Tyler, I can't thank you enough for saying that. I can't thank you enough for sticking around. Do you know that we're making history here? Like, no one's ever done this. This is like we're a family now. Community, it goes past that. It goes past that. And you know, the only thing I don't like about PrivadaCon is like when you come up to me and say hello, I'm like, man, this guy deserves my day here. He deserves hours of my time. And then it's like someone else comes up and I'm, you know, and so that's the only thing I don't like about PrivadaCon. And that's why I tried to make it last longer this time so I could spend more time with each of you. But there's just so many people. But Tyler, I appreciate you. And thank you so much. Hone, oh my gosh. Hone has been such a big supporter of us for so long. Brian, it's been a long while. What's up, brother? Hone, I appreciate you. I know that some members will come, some members will go, some members will return, and that's just life, right? It's like these are real friendships, and that's how real friendships work. And so I just appreciate you checking in like this and letting me know that you're still here, you still care, because sometimes some members leave, and it's like psychologically they have to be angry to leave, right? Like something in their life is pulling them away from cigars at that moment, or they met someone that swayed their opinion on me and they don't leave necessarily friendly or quietly, right? And so I always hate when that happens. So it's okay to come, it's okay to go, and it's more than okay to come back again, but please keep checking in with me because you guys mean a lot to me and I appreciate your support, and I'll never forget you got me through a certain time. So thank you. Life is good though. Otherwise, I just moved into a new house. My wife and family my wife and kid are healthy. We're all happy. So thank you. I hope yours as well. Cigar Jamie, question: what do you suggest for my son's graduation this weekend? You know, Jamie, I get asked this question quite a lot. Not necessarily son's graduation, but a celebratory moment. I really love the Vintage Reserva 22. I'm shocked we still have them in stock. I also enjoy anything from the Deconstructed or the Oman. If I had to go with one cigar, I would probably stick with that Vintage Reserva 22. Why? It's beautiful. It's packaged well. You can hand them out individually. They won't get crushed in a person's pocket. And they smoke like a dream. Really just an amazing cigar. Shout out to the Aroa family for allowing us to borrow a little bit of one of the best tobaccos to ever come out of cigar tobacco. Hone, I never left, brother. I had a second child and I've just been super busy. That's amazing. Congratulations. And I think I'll have to send you something. Someone write me a note. I got to send Hone something. Congratulations. And thank you for writing in here. Logan, first time catching a live. What's up, my dude? What's up, Logan? Thank you for catching the live. I appreciate you. I'll be in Orlando next week. Top cigar lounge recommendation. You know, it really depends on what you're looking for. The bottom line is we are very fortunate in Orlando to have Corona Cigar Company. While I don't necessarily love every product they carry, while I don't necessarily subscribe to that lifestyle of cigar, that's just not what I do. I am honored to live in a town that has a place like Corona Cigar Company. To go there is a destination, right? And so you can go to the Sand Lake, which is a little more upscale, a little baller, a little more retiree kind of thing. Or you can go downtown, which is a little wild, although someone got shot there 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever it was. Someone got shot there. So, and I've been there and seen plenty of fights. So be careful on a late night. But if you're going just during the day, it's cool to see a medium-sized city during the day operating with a beautiful mall-sized selection of cigars. Very, very cool. So I would definitely check them out. And then, of course, you have to go see my man Jason Castro over at Cigars on Waterford. Not Cigars on the Avenue, Cigars on Waterford. Just for a quiet, chill smoke, get to know Jason a little bit. He's a great member of our community, and it's a cool little shop just to lay low and get out of the heat. Jason Lazardi, my man, my brother, what was the catalyst for the European trip? Why those countries, and what are some key takeaways from the trip? So this is going to be, don't fast forward him yet. You jump ahead a little bit. So what was the catalyst? The catalyst for the trip originally. So we've been in Norway as the LCA with Arndt over there with Nordic Cigars for 3 years, it turns out. I didn't even realize it was that long. Shout out to you, Clark, for making that relationship happen. And shout out to Brian Matola, now at Cavalier Cigars, for building that relationship for us or helping us with that relationship. I'll never forget you for that, Brian. So what had happened was we started to work with a company called Pio, and it became very clear that we were very interested in this machine that they offer. And so I wanted to go see it live. Arndt is there supporting us. I rarely go anywhere, outside of the country to do anything. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go to Norway, guys. Let's get the cameras. Let's go to Norway. Let's see what's going on with the LCA there. And then it turned out at the same time, Budapest was popping off for us, and so is Germany. So huge shout out to my boy Mark out there, man. We decided if we're there, we may as well see the other locations that are within a 2 to 3 hour flight from there, and see what's going on with the culture there. So that's why we went to those specific places, and I'm so happy that we did. Come on, man. Travis and Jess, I love that. What's up? I guess you guys are in, that would be Colorado, right? Or is that Chicago? That's C. That's a Colorado C, right? I think so. Question. Advice on retrohaling for someone who doesn't do it often, how to pull out extra flavor notes by doing so. So one thing I want to tell you about retrohaling, and this is a super question to ask, is retrohaling does not necessarily mean you're blowing smoke through your nose. And there are some people out there that are like, what are you talking about? Of course, that's exactly what it means. What it means is that you're allowing your sinuses to open so you can smell the aroma of that smoke in your mouth. This is the same thing you're doing while you're chewing food. You cannot. The mouth gets 5 things: sour, sweet, salt, umami, and bitter. That's all you get out of this. This can't tell you, oh, this tastes like popcorn. That happens here, right? So what happens is you learn how to open up these sinuses, and you'll notice I've had people tell me, oh, you're not retrohaling. That's because you're not seeing the smoke come through my nose, but I am opening my sinuses and I'm smelling that smoke basically. So a little bit comes into my sinuses because I love that sensation. That's where I get a lot of the pepper and stuff, and that's where I taste the flavor. I did a video a long time ago about how to retro, but there's a thing online that says basically try to blow out birthday candles with your mouth and your nose open. I don't know why, but it works. It's almost like popping your ears on a plane. Like something happens. You'll figure it out, man. You'll know it when you get it. You can start by blowing smoke through your nose, although some people find that uncomfortable. Trey Weller, how many different types of cigars did you try before you decided this one should be the Cuban Sandwich? None. This was the only cigar that I tried. If you watch the video, you're with me the entire way. I had the sandwich, and something started pinging my mind. I knew which cigar it was right away. There have been times where I've had a situation like that, and I've tried that cigar and said, no, maybe not, but rarely. So one of the things that I'm really good at that no one really did before me was talk about pairing notes, what to pair cigars with. Even some of the best cigar reviewers never made pairing recommendations. And so I wanted to bring that to the table because I always have this gut instinct of what cigars will go with what foods and drinks. And so when I ate that sandwich, I knew what I was looking for. I also knew that it had to be box pressed, so that made it a lot easier, right? So once I know, okay, it's got to be box pressed because it's a Cuban sandwich, it gets pressed. What do I have? I think it's got to be a Habano. It's not a Maduro, it's not a Connecticut. And this is what came to mind. Willie Barone. Question. Can we get something close to an Amazon basin? I'm going to be completely honest with you, Willie. I'm going to answer that quick and short, and I'm going to say no. But I'm also going to say, I don't know if I believe all that bullshit, man. I'm sorry. I'm not calling anyone out. But really? Really? They're in the Amazon? They're growing tobacco in the wild, Clark. Clark, they're growing tobacco in the wilds. They're in the Amazon. You know how hard it is to grow tobacco? And then you're telling me that you're growing it in the Amazon, like along with other plants and stuff? I know it is a weed to some degree, but man, to grow good tobacco takes a lot. So they're going to have to show me that one on video where they're in this Amazon. Now, if you're telling me it comes from Peru, okay, right? In which case, I'll tell you, check out the Volute. That is a cigar we made a documentary on with the great Claudio Scroy and Mr. Gennaro down there in Peru. Peru is potentially the birthplace of tobacco, or the oldest place that tobacco seeds can trace to. The Pelo de Oro is the best wrapper supposedly you can get, or the best leaf you can get. So I would just look at Peruvian cigars. I might look at some Colombian cigars too, but I'm afraid to say I've always felt that cigar might be a little bit of a gimmick. Now, if you're telling me you love that cigar, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that. But they're telling us it was grown in the Amazon basin, so I just don't feel like they're being completely honest with what's in that cigar, so I don't know what direction to steer you in. I haven't smoked one in a while, but if you like, you can email me, and I'll try one and try to steer you in the right direction. But JD the Red, any options on all these companies putting out these, any opinions on all these companies putting out these $50 plus cigars? You know what? I'm going to practice holding my opinion. I know a lot of people like my no filter approach, but I'm not here to knock anyone. I literally just in the last comment just said that I think someone's marketing is a little bit of bullshit. I'm not saying that company makes bad cigars. I'm just saying, like, you heard what I said. Gently, I'll just say I'm not into it. I'm not into it. I can tell you what a really good cigar should cost. In my opinion, a cigar should never go above the $30 mark. Unless you are doing something that requires extensive aging, 10, 12, 15 year of a certain tobacco, of a certain crop. I always loved the story of the Davidoff. Clark, what's the Davidoff navy blue? The expensive one? The Royal. Then the story is basically like this, is that the Kellners grow these wonderful tobaccos for this family, and every year there's a royal share of those tobaccos. It's perfect. It's flawless. It's flavorful. It's everything. And they've been storing those cigars for themselves. And then sometime around 2010 or whatever, they come out with a cigar made out of only those tobaccos. Maybe it's just a great story. Maybe it's more bullshit marketing. I don't know. But I like that story a little bit more than I like the we're in the jungles growing tobacco. Again, I could be proven wrong on all of this, but my man, we have some of the best cigars you will ever smoke for $20 and under. A lot of them are in the $10 to $12 range. So there's no need for you to try those cigars. And I also want to tell you, you'll never know if those cigars were really worth the money until you've gone through a lot of the lesser priced cigars and truly understand cigars and tobacco. This cigar could easily be billed as a $20, $30 cigar just by the wrapper alone. Now, each wrapper is going to be individual, right? So some of the wrappers might not be as pretty as the others, but you can see just that light shimmering off of this, that beautiful box press. There's no cracking. There's no major veins. This is an A, B plus, a wrapper. So it's the expense of a cigar is mostly by the wrapper quality. I got to stop for 1 sec. Our camera's blinking. Does that mean anything? Is that a power thing? Okay, so we're gonna keep rolling. Okay, but we're gonna have to change the battery? That's not gonna stop the stream? Okay. So I'm just gonna, yeah, the plug would be best. So so the idea of what makes a cigar expensive starts with the wrapper. It has to be A++++, and the wrapper has to be rare, Cameroon, broadleaf, something that's expensive, San Andreas. Okay, now we're talking about what'd you use for the binder? Did you just use shit? No, the whole cigar. If you're gonna be in that $50 range, the whole cigar has to be the best of all of those categories. And I know most of these guys aren't doing that. Question, Jason Reed. When is Behind the Box for May coming out? Behind the Box for May is going to be very different this month, and it's going to be different going forward. These lives are going to be where you and I get to spend our time together, where we can talk, where we can share, and you can ask me questions about any of the cigars that we've put out recently. Okay? The Behind the Box will be coming out probably in a day or two. What do you think? We'll have it ready tomorrow? Should we drop it on a Friday? I feel like we should drop it on a Monday, but we're late, so we probably should just drop it when we could drop it. And it's just going to focus more on the cigars, and I'm really interested because we're using green screen and we're doing some fun filmmaking stuff, so I hope you enjoy it, Jason. Charles, what up, Brian? My first live with you, and I also made my first purchase the other day. Looking forward to trying your cigars. I ordered 12 different singles, thinking about a monthly subscription. Well, Charles, this is what I want to say. Pravada's never been about saving money necessarily, or like what do they call it, like budget, but you definitely save a lot of money by joining the club. The club helps us because we're able to predict buying, and we know how many cigars that we're going to need for upcoming boxes, right? So it helps us as well. So it's everything in my business is double-sided. It serves you, it serves me. It's mutually beneficial. Serves my manufacturer, serves us. Mutually beneficial. So I highly recommend that you join one of the clubs, if not all of them, and you will also save money for doing that. But if you want to just go through the rare section and start picking out cool cigars, man, you're going to have a great time. I highly recommend, though, that when you get those cigars in your hands, you go back to that product page and you read about that cigar, because I have the whole tasting notes listed, the pairing notes, the story of the cigar, who made it, why they made it, what they used, what flavors I got. Mind you, some of these cigars are very aged now, so maybe a little bit of a different experience, but you should still be able to pick up some of those notes. So Charles, welcome to the family and welcome to the Pravada experience. I don't think anyone's ever put this much time into their products before, and I think it'll show in the experience that you have with those cigars. So thank you for giving us a shot. Yeah. Amen on that $30 mark for a cigar. I am with you 100%. Companies want to put an expensive price tag and sucker us into buying them. I call BS. Lee Mack, you always call BS, and that's why I love you. Also, for those of you that don't know, this is a great time to talk about it. Lee Mack found a cigar in our collection that is extremely aged, and he put it out. It's called the Vintage by Lee Mack. And my man, or is it Another Great Day Vintage? Another Great Day Vintage. You get the cigar, you look at it, and you'll see the age, right? You see the age with our stuff. We were lied to for decades. We were really, really lied to over the past 10 years about what cigars were, how aged they were, where they came from. I know because I fell for some of these lies, and I caught some of these guys lying to me during the buying process. I'll give you a story. Bought a cigar from someone. He told me how aged it was, told me where it came from. 2 months later, I got a grower at my place, and he's like, how'd you like this cigar? And I said, I liked it a lot. Why? And he said, well, because I made that cigar. I said, oh, really? When did you make that cigar? I made that cigar 6 months ago. Holy shit. This guy lied to me about who made it and how aged it was. So if you don't think that they're doing that to us as consumers, of course they are. They're trying to do it to us as brands and as owners. So you got to be really careful. These are all the reasons why I developed relationships with the actual people making the cigars. So Lee Mack, you're spot on. You're right. A cigar really shouldn't cost more than $30. Now, if you put out a cigar with special furniture, I'll call it, right? That's what it's got to be at that point. It's got to be the kind of box that you just are not going to get rid of. That you spent $30 just on the box alone, $50 on the box alone. Comes in, it's basically a humidor, something like that. Okay. But yeah, man, I know the prices of things. Any more than $30 and you're kind of beating me over the head. The only thing I can think of right now is Cameroon. It's really, really hard to get. It's really expensive. So, but other than that, man, I don't know. Shout out to you, Lee Mack. Love the channel. DChaz34. How can I enjoy my Cuban sandwich without a cafe con leche? Yeah, I'm enjoying it right now without one, but I hear you. That would be fantastic. A little cinnamon on there, that could really help this thing out. Scorch, my question. How do you guys come up with pairing recommendations for your cigars? Discovered some great pairings through them, some great stuff through them so far. That is where I just have to give myself credit. When I'm writing about that cigar, when I'm done with the story, when I'm done with the tasting notes, I literally just put my pen to my pad, and it reminds me of when I used to write songs, and it just comes to me. And I know what will go well with it. I could go a little deeper, but sometimes I feel like not a lot of people are even paying attention. So as long as I give you a couple of options, I think I'm doing my job. But if you ever want more in-depth stuff, you can email me anytime and I'll give you a little bit more in-depth. Banger cigar. Crazy. Now I'm getting like bright, flowery. I don't want to call it floral Clark, but it's almost like sunshine. Like there's that Habano sun-grown, that orange thing. There's something there, man. It's bright. There we go. What do you think of more gas stations storing and selling big brand cigar companies? Any chance they take care of them right? Is this good or bad growth for the industry? Nathan, it's bad growth for the industry. I don't want you're going to discover my cigars in a Clark. We can't sell to gas stations, bro. No. Liquor stores is where I draw the line. And they should have a humidor. I think I just answered that question. I think it's a great question. And I mean, if you serve your cigars in a gas station, I don't want them. That's not what I'm looking for in my cigar smoking experience. That is potentially for a little bit more of a, the old cab driver that keeps a stick in his mouth. That's who gets I would think gets their stuff at a gas station. I'm not into it. I see companies trying to do it. That should just tell you who's just here for the money and who's not. Christian Phillips, Brian, how is it possible that in 3 years I've never gotten a cigar from Privada that has been smoked badly? Wow. Christian, thank you so much for saying that. It truly means a lot. You're not just filtering these comments, right? You let anyone in. Christian, thank you. It looks like you have a beautiful family there. I'm so honored for you to say that. It brings joy to me to bring joy to you. I hear that when people get their box every month, it's like a holiday, it's like a birthday, it's like Christmas. Dude, that makes me so happy. So here's what I want to say. When I first started the club, I met with a guy, Torres, out on the coast of Florida. And I was with my dad, actually. It was one of the few times my dad was down here. And he said, hey, man, why do your cigars smoke better than all my other cigars? I thought he was just kind of like buttering me up a little bit. And I was like, what? And I brushed it off. And then he asked it again. He was like, no, I'm serious. Why do your cigars, he said, taste better? Why do your cigars taste better and smoke better than my other cigars? And I realized very quickly it's because of our humidor bags. Most of these cigars that are made on the market, well, that's not true. Because of your support, because of how loud Privada members are on social media, when a cigar brand or owner or factory or farmer does business with Privada, guess what they know? They know that people are going to be talking about their product collectively. they know that if they give me shit and I give them shit, they're going to say, yo, this guy's stuff was shit. And they don't want that. So they give us their best stuff. I rarely influence a blender what to do. I tell them what we're looking for sometimes, but for the most part, I say, give me your best stuff. Show these people what you can do. And so that's part of it. The way we store it is part of it. The coolers are part of it. The bags are part of it. And two-way humidification is a part of it. No water in the air. So if you're comparing us to other cigars that you got out of a humidor where one part of the humidor is moist, the other part's dry, one part's wet, then yeah, that's why. And because we have a third quality control on it, which is me. I'm the go-between the factory, you, and believe me, we've thrown out hundreds of thousands of cigars. So thank you, Christian. That means a lot to me. It means I'm doing my job right. Leonardo de Blacchio. I'm planning on coming to the East Coast. Do you do tours? We don't, but if you want to come see the warehouse, you can. I'm warning you, there's not much to see other than what you see in the videos. You can pick up some cool cigars here. I might sell you some things that you can't get online. But other than that, it would be nice to shake your hand and say hello. D-Chaz, I hate to have missed out on both PrivadaCon so far. Any early plans in the works yet? Nope. I'm enjoying some stress-free time right now. No pressure, no nothing. I have to go with PrivadaCon as a family reunion. I realize that. You know who made me realize that, William? Aunt Ben. He said, man, this isn't like a cigar event. This is like a family reunion. I said, that's exactly what it is. And that is something I don't want to force, and I don't. So, like, it's a little bit of pressure leading up to it, a lot going on, a lot more extra stuff than normal. And plus, I still have to keep up with the club, the LCA. There's a lot going on. And so I'm going to take a couple more months before I start thinking about when the next one is. But I hope you're at the next one. James Fine, my brother. Third time asking this question. What's the story with the yellow 49er jacket? So, I've never done anything but be completely transparent here. And I'm a little worried that I got ripped off. I paid for those jackets way ahead of time. Did the pre-order. Was looking to make it up to some people that there was a product that we had put out in our Black Friday Friends Club that I wasn't so proud of. It was the jacket from that. And so I wanted to offer some of the people that jacket didn't fit or something, this jacket, kind of like as a way of saying sorry and thank you. And it's now almost 90 days. I feel as though, as of yesterday, like I got ripped off. The guy is swearing to me through communication by email and WhatsApp that he did not rip us off, that he's sending me pictures of the jackets in the bags with the tags, all this stuff. Sent me a tracking number 2 weeks ago. The tracking number still doesn't work. So I was prepared to send out an email tomorrow saying that I think I got ripped off and I'm going to refund the money and I'm going to send you guys a gift for having faith in me to buy something on pre-order. And it definitely ruined my week. As of today, this person is sending me pictures and videos, and I think some of you guys saw the videos in the beginning of them actually making the jackets. And I'm a little beat up over that. I'm a little stressed over that. So James, I'm going to ask you to be patient with me for about 14 more days. And at the end of the 14 days, if the jackets aren't here, I'm going to not only refund you, but I'm going to send you guys a bundle of cigars on me just for being cool about it and, for not making a big deal of it. It pains me. Silly me. When you're running a company, it's like an octopus. You have all these arms, and those arms have tentacles on them, and those are all the important people or things on each of these LCA and the cut and all and then the merch and so it's making me not want to ever do merch again. I'll tell you that right now. So that's what I've been dealing with this week, and I'm not going to hide it from anyone. I'm going to give the guy another 7 days, 10 days, and if they're not there, I'm going to report the transaction, and then get you guys something in return that's of more than equal value. So I think we should go get him. Donnie, my brother, another tattoo brother. For those of you that don't know, we have a tattoo crew. There's 16 of us now, including me. 16? 16 of us. And I take care of these people, man. Donnie, you know, this place is yours. Whatever you guys want, it's yours. I do special things for these people because they do special things for us. And it's just such an honor. Donnie, thank you, man. Siddharth, haven't seen you in a minute. It happened, Brian. Appreciate the honesty about the jacket. Yeah, man. Man, I'm telling you, yesterday when I finally it reminds me of when I was a kid and I used to fucking sell weed. It's like you know you're not supposed to give the guy the money without the stuff, and then you fucking he's like, you're right in front of the guy's house, and he's like, I gotta go up there and get it. My boy's not gonna give it to me. You can't come in the house, and he ran out the back door. And that's how I feel. I feel like I got beat. I said that to my wife. My wife is so not a street culture at all. And she was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "We got beat." She's like, "What does that mean?" It's like, somebody took my fucking money, man. And I got 100 people that had promised this beautiful jacket. The jacket, you saw if it was a con, it was an elaborate con. The sample jacket came. It's beautiful. I'm hoping. Siddharth, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate you. This is what makes this community so amazing. And I have no problem making up for it tenfold to you guys that pre-ordered those. So I know some of the haters out there are like, finally, he got his. That was the other thing I was thinking. I'm like, damn, man, I don't want to come out with this too publicly because I know some people are going to love seeing me have to eat shit. But I love you guys, and thank you for being so kind about that. But trust me, I'm going to make that right. D-Chaz, that was a perfect answer regarding the future Pravada plans. The community is solid, and that's because the mindset is that positive from the very top. Kudos to you and some of the others behind the scenes. D-Chaz, thank you so much, and I hope people know that I can't do this without Tyler. I remember when Johnny Taquitos was here. I mean, I owe these people so much of their time. William Bronca, Clark Thornton, of course. There's so many people. Eddie. I mean, these are the people that God gave me. I really feel like that, right? Like I don't want to get too spiritual for anyone, but I feel like the universe or God puts people in your life for a reason, and it's up to you to know you had to have gone through enough experience to be wise enough to see that at the right time. And for most of my life, I wasn't, and I probably wasted opportunity because I didn't have that wisdom. And so finally, all these things came together, and I was so fortunate enough, even down to my ladies in the warehouse, man. I mean, these women work so hard for us. It's mostly women. They all are friends of each other. They hire each other, basically. They're just so wonderful. The love, man. And I do believe that seeps into those packages. Because I know I get products from companies, and I'm like, you can tell no one gave a shit, right? You can tell. So thank you, D-Chaz, man. You guys just make me feel so good, and I feel obligated. I have to work hard for you guys. I'm not. There's no phoning it in, So thank you, man. Michael Keith, your transparency is why I always support you. Damn. Thank you. I always buy stuff from you. What did he say? I always buy stuff from you. You went too fast for him. No, that's all good. You can find. He said, I always buy stuff from you, and what? I always buy stuff. I will always buy stuff from you. Michael, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. And I only want to give you top quality. These jackets, if they do come through, they're like Michelin Ness status plus, maybe. They're really I love Michelin Ness. I'm trying to dress like an adult, okay? I love dressing, and I see a lot of my friends, man. I'm 45 years old now. I see them; they're still wearing the shit we were wearing in their 20s, and it's like, my man, I don't want to look like that, right? But I love sneakers and all this stuff, but I love Michelin Ness. I walk into that store when I'm in Philadelphia, and I'm like, wow, I can't wear half of this shit because it's just not going to look right on me, some 45-year-old dude, businessman. But I just love that authentic, extra care gear. It's thicker. It's made like it used to be, that nostalgic gear. And this is that. And I'm I just was so happy to be able to offer it to you guys. Plus, it keeps smoke off your clothes. It works. 100% it works. So thank you. Jose, Privada Club Salud from Santiago. Man, Dominican Republic is in the building. Do you know Santiago's responsible for so many thousands of great cigars in my life? Anything exciting here in the DR anytime soon? 100%, man. We got Eladio Diaz cooking up something to represent your hometown, my man. It's going to be a beautiful thing. We're doing 2 cigars with him. We got another one of my friends he's in Santo Domingo, and he's working with some people from Cuba there to grow tobacco that they believe is going to be the best tobacco in the world. You know, I don't think even some Dominicans realize this, but Dominican Republic is where it started, man. It wasn't Cuba. Remember, Columbus didn't go to Cuba and find cigars. He went to DR. Remember, Cohiba and the Taínos, big time in DR. So also Puerto Rico, also Cuba too. But cigars, I think, really have a longer history. We'll never really know in DR. And, so DR is always in my thoughts, always in my mind. And I know that DR can be the king again one day. Harvey Dean, when is PC3? Where you said maybe Texas. So we decided after that, Harvey. Thank you, and you must have been there, Harvey. We decided we should only do PrivadaCon in Orlando. However, we may want to start doing events in about a year from now, and Texas is on our mind. We have so many beloved members in Texas, and it's just such a great place to smoke cigars. So I would say not right away, but maybe in a year or so, you could expect to hear some news about us doing an event in Texas, and I hope you will join me and sit by my side while we smoke some amazing cigars out there in the heart of this country. Mike in West Palm Beach, I need a Liquid Death cigar for sure. Their artwork is fun, and a band like their style mixed with Privada would be fun. I agree with you 100%. I don't think it's going to happen, even though they support us. We've thrown the idea out there. We're not going to push it too hard, but thank you, Mike. I enjoyed seeing you at PrivadaCon. I enjoy seeing your son growing up. Very cool. Congratulations on everything. You look super healthy. Hey, I just talked to you, Fishing Beast. Yeah. You were the one that was asking me for the pairings, right? Like yesterday? The cigar's made. That is made. It's about this long. And it's been sitting here. I've got 6 bands. 6. Count them, Willie B. 6 bands to put on this cigar. When is it going to come out? I don't know. I've got, I think, 5,000 made. Very expensive. Boy, did they put me through the ringer with that, too. We went there, and then they led me on for a year. We're thinking about. I'm like, oh, come on, man, just make it. Shout out to Paul over there. He ended up making it for us. So it's here. The 6 bands are here. I'm waiting to band them and put them out. I'll get to it sooner than later. Arturo, what cigar should I smoke on my 4th year anniversary with Privada? Well, first of all, I hope you have the 4-year discount code because you deserve it. That'll get you 20% off everything in the shop. For all of our 4-year members, you get 20% off. 2 to 4 year, you get 10% off, and 1-year members get 5% off. So it also saves you money being a member of the club just in shopping on the online shop. I would say the Oman. I would say any of the Subterraneo. And I would say maybe this Tiburon, the shark that was in last month's box. Why? Because these are the cigars that should be $30, $25. These are the cigars, if other brands put them out, they would be. really expensive because they have really expensive tobaccos. They come from really esteemed people. And they're the culmination of, we couldn't have got those made in year one. We didn't have the relationships. I had to work my way up to get cigars like that. So that's those are some of the cigars. And of course that 22 also, I could never have gotten that done. Shout out to Christian Eroa for being so good to me. So yeah, man. Remember Cassidy 6 in the morning? 6 bands. You heard me right, fam. I think the last cigar was close to that was the Tiger Shark. Oh, Harry, I love you so much, man. Thank you for being such a big part of this and for reminding me of things that I forgot about. Yes, that had 4 bands. Do you remember the Tiger Shark? Oh, yeah. 4 bands? 4 Jaguar Shark. 4 bands. Yeah, 4 bands. This has 6. Okay, so each one of these bands, okay, so you have the main band, and then the 5 bands represent the 5 different tobaccos. And they tell you on the band, Corojo 99, filler, Criollo, whatever, binder, wrapper. It tells you the whole story of the cigar right there. What you know about that? Run. Question. I found an unopened package of cigars that got lost during a move a few years ago. How long are they good for in the packaging? Well, the Boveda should tell the story. If they don't have Boveda in there, they're still good. If they're in that packaging, I had a package go from here to South Africa and back. It took 1 year and 9 months. I didn't open it or find it returned in the mail until 1 year and 11 months. We opened it on video somewhere. I remember, whatever. We opened it and the Boveda still had a little bit of life left in it, and the cigars were perfect. They were like 71 on the head and like 68 on the foot. So they're still good, man. These bags, this is my superpower. That's why the cigars taste so good. It's part of it. Mark Bryan, you guys are the best. I asked a question via email about a cigar that I bought at a brick and mortar. Y'all jumped to replacing it until I convinced you that you didn't sell it to me. Customer service. Man, that's just how we are here, man. All my dreams came true already. Like I'm the luckiest guy in this industry, and I will do anything to make you guys happy. This is a place to come to feel like you're a part of it, and you're a big part of it. And I don't ever want to lose that. Like this relationship that we all have, bro, I give you a cigar. That's nothing, man. I know you're going to be back. I know you're going to support us. I know you're going to tell your friends about the amazing service you get here. So that's, it was all double, what is it? Mutually beneficial, man. That's how everything in my life is. I treat my wife like the Queen of Sheba because she treats me like a kid. And I bet you when you stop doing that, then you start not getting what you want. So that's why I treat you guys so well, is because this is what I would have wanted, and I appreciate your loyalty so much. So, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I saw that email chain. Yeah, so thank you for mentioning that. I need to puff this cigar real quick. Let's talk about where we're at with the cigar. Hold on.
Where are we at? About second, third start?
That cedar's still going strong. Black pepper's still there. It's bright. It's I'm getting a very creamy smoke now. It's got a zing. Like this is the thing that's making Nicaragua, like when guys from Cuba come to Nicaragua, they go, oh shit, they got something. It's not Cuban, but it's something. There's something here. This is an amazing flavor you can't get. It's powerful. This is a beautiful thing right here. And it'll stand up to anything. I feel like this is like what Padron would be like if their Padron's naturals aren't really this light typically, right? Even sometimes I've had Car, tell me if I'm wrong on this. Even some of their naturals, I'm like, this is a Maduro.
Yeah, sometimes they're darker looking.
Right. And even when you compare it to their Maduro, you're like, I can barely tell the difference between the two. That's right. So I feel like if Padron made lighter Habanos, like sun-grown Habano, like this is what it would be like. Question: I don't know. And by the way, AJ has such a great relationship with the Padron family. Their farms are right next to each other, and they basically live like a stone's throw away from each other. So, I don't know about you. I don't know you, but you missed the mark on pairing. Penelope toasted goes with crusty Cuban Sammy bread. Sure. I don't know if I'm reading this right, but anyway, Penelope Toasted is amazing. So Penelope did our first bourbon for us, man. Shout out to Penelope. Guy sold the company for $103 million. I'm pretty sure he's happy. I hope he's happy. I know some people that sell their companies tell me that they're not very happy after they do that. It's a labor of love, and it can be weird letting go of your baby. So I hope that they're doing very well. And Penelope Toasted. Penelope's one of the only bourbons on the market that I've had in the last 5 years that made me go, oh, whoa, what's this? So shout out to them. Dion, my brother in Chicago. Let's go. Mellow Masters has joined the chat. Ant Ben on the way. What's up, man? How you doing? Love the Mellow Masters release. Even my father called me up and made me send them two hoodies. So okay. Big Rob wants to know, will we ever get the pretzel cigars back or something close to it? Hands down, one of my favorite throwbacks in the club. I smoked the light pretzel. The dark pretzel was my thing, but I liked the light pretzel, and I felt like the light pretzel was unappreciated or underappreciated. I smoked it about 2 months ago, and I immediately texted Terrence Riley. I said, could we make this again? And he said he's going to look into it. So I'm looking into it. It would be about a year before we ever saw that, though. But good palate, my friend. That is a hell of a stick. Really, is that William Payment? Question: is there any news on the Father's Day sale? Will Canadians be able to be a part of the Father's Day sale without the insane tax and duty? No, unfortunately, no. But the chief, like I said in the beginning, will be putting up a page soon with just Bravada products that you can buy directly from him. And I don't think they have to pay the taxes then, right, Clark?
Correct.
So there you go, my bro. But I'm sure you could finagle someone to sneak you a shipment up there. I didn't say that. Did you say that? Who said that? We are having the Father's Day sale. We're putting the machine in the first week of June. As soon as that machine's ready, we're going to have a Break the Machine Father's Day sale, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. So thank you, William. You know I love you. My Canadian ambassador up there, man. I got to get you a badge or something. Scorch Fiend just joined this year and look forward to what y'all release. Thank you so much, and welcome to the family, homie. We got plenty of great cigars on the way. President Tariq, is there a countdown for Pravada Customs? You know what he means?
When's Bravada Customs drop? You know what's coming out?
Why am I'm drawing a complete blank.
Bravada Customs program?
Uh-huh.
They ship it.
Oh, what am I saying? Okay, the bands, I'm just waiting on the bands. The bands are coming. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm waiting on the bands, and I got to say, I need to do a video because I got a sample of what we made together. So they're still aging, and then the bands are coming. So we still got another 6 weeks or something like that. Yeah, we still have another 3 to 6 weeks before they're 90 days. And some people wanted me to hold them 120 days or more. So I got to get with those people. But they're coming. They're soon. It's almost, we're more than halfway. I don't know what you mean by that. They're all really rare. I mean, all the cigars that we get are made one time typically, and by, one person that doesn't make that cigar for other people, or at least in a rare size or something like that. So they're all, any cigars under the rare category or limited edition are going to be rare. So I don't know what you mean by rare. I think you might be referring to a specific cigar, but I'm not sure. Jared, no questions. I just want to say I love y'all and keep up the great work, fam. Thank you, Jared. You know I can't do this without you, man. You're one of my brothers, man. I appreciate you so much. If you had ink, I would force you to get the tattoo. Am I allowed to put pressure on people to? It's like a gang. Gang. You don't get jumped in, you get the tattoo. Richard Ragusa. Hey, Brian. Do you remember the cigars from Lars? Of course I remember Lars Teton's. I happen to like them and feel like LT was misunderstood. Lars Teton's is misunderstood, but how could he not be? Have you met him in person? Brilliant, man. I love the guy. Most entertaining conversations I've ever had. He is a character. He's a movie character in real life. Also, supposedly an amazing chef. Has leather goods. We hear that, what is it? What's the flavored cigars, the most popular one? Acid was his recipe. That's what we hear. I don't know how true that is. I got to ask Jonathan Joe. I don't even want to get into that with them. But this guy's a kind of a legend in our business in a little way. Not everyone knows who he is. So shout out to you for remembering. His cigars are extremely unique, and according to him, they're aged a long time. And I can see that when I smoke them. I'm like, this is different. Smooth as hell. So. Mario, the band still isn't ready yet. I got to get those ready for PCA 2025. Send them up there. Christian Phillips, question. I've been a member for 3 years. Since Hone recommended. Oh, my God. That's so amazing. I didn't know you know that. Okay. And how is it possible that in 3 years I have never gotten a cigar? Very impressed, and I'm glad to be a member. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate that, man. Very, very much. Any advice on why Matilda Serene's ash looked like a blown out broom? No, but I've seen that on other. You mean it kind of went like this? I've seen that happen before. I would say it's something to do with the way they're rolling it. I thought that was a fantastic Connecticut cigar. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Clark, you want to jump in the hot seat and say hello to everyone? Business Clark. Always on time. He's here.
Brian likes to insist that now that I'm on time, that I'm no fun, that I can't have fun anymore. All right, team, hit me with your questions. All things LCA, cigar related. Jono Cigars turned us on to Pravada, and we cannot get enough. Shout out to Jonos. He is outstanding. Contributor on Cigar Public. He was at Pravada or at PCA with us last July when we were there. If you don't watch Jonos, check out his videos online. He does great stuff. I saw a Hulk cigar on Instagram. Where can I find that? So that was, if I remember correctly, that was the LCA release last June. It was called the Incredible Hug, and it was an East Coast, West Coast edition. So half the country, the East Coast, got a Habano version of the cigar, whereas folks on the West Coast got a Maduro. There might still be some floating around the wild, but I believe those are pretty much gone by and large. So if you see one, if it's a Maduro, it's from the West Coast, and if it's a Habano, it's from the East Coast. But savor them because those were two phenomenal releases in LCA. Will the Canadians be able to take part in the Father's Day sale, and have the Canadian shipping issues been resolved? Okay, so regrettably, it's not looking like the Canadian members will be able to place orders on the website to take part in the Father's Day sale outside of the subscription items. We're working on getting a lot of Pravada products available on Cigar Chief's website on a whole separate page that they're building on the website. That should hopefully be coming pretty soon. Don't have an exact timeline, but it's in the works. The Canadian shipping issues, by and large, we believe have been resolved. I know the last couple of months have been a little bit bumpy for complicated reasons beyond anybody's control. Basically, Cigar Chief's ability to receive cigars got really messed up for a couple of months. But Cigar Chief and Privada, we both very much value having you guys as members, and we've been working diligently to get those issues resolved. I am quite confident that May's boxes will be coming faster than March's and April's, and we appreciate your guys' patience in sticking with us for those 2 months that were a little bumpy very much, and hopefully we can look forward to smooth sailing from here. Thank you, Swilly. I appreciate that. Swilly, I don't see you, but I'm sure you look amazing too, and I hope that you're having an amazing night yourself, looking amazing the way that you do. LCA in our B&M for about 3 months in Tennessee. That is, what's the bunch? Remind me of that shop's name, because I know the one you're talking about. Funny story about that store. I can't think of the name, but I know who you're talking about. I'd actually called this store because I had a few people tell me about this shop in Tennessee. I said, I'm Clark from Privada and LCA, and it was a very short phone call, and I got a phone call back almost immediately in less than 2 minutes, and he said, by the way, why did you call me just now? In a very, abrupt way. And I said, I just heard some good things about you guys, that was all. He's like, okay, because there was somebody in here who was literally just telling me about why we should have LCA in the store as you called on the phone, as the phone rang. So, needless to say, that was a good first introduction and a great testament to you guys for being part of the growth story that is LCA. I think that you guys have been tremendously responsible for finding us good shops that you want to see in LCA, getting us in touch with those shops. And so thank you very much for talking about LCA to your local stores. Thank you for letting me know, Clark at PrivadaCigarClub.com, about good shops that you know about that you'd like to see LCA in. And we will just continue trying to get shops closer and closer to home until every member of Privada, no matter where you are, has a place locally that you can find LCA releases. Pat Frank, looking good. Pat Frank, you too, I bet, are looking amazing, my guy. And I'm just glad that we can sit here on opposite sides of the camera and look amazing and good together, Pat Frank. James Pine, Clark, you the man. Thanks for all your help with the LCA. James, like I was just saying, you and I were just emailing not even 2 hours ago, my guy. Thank you very much for putting us in touch with LCA retailers. I know the one we were just talking to together ended up not working out, but we will find another shop close to your brother's place in Colorado, and we're going to make it happen, man. I'm dedicated to the cause. No Fun Clark. Big Rob, you're in timeout, buddy. You're going to Clark prison right now. No fun, Rob. When is Hat Clark making an appearance? Been too wrong, even if it's just his slimmer cousin. No fun, Hat Clark. Well, Brian is off camera cackling hysterically right now. Well, there can't be a Hat Clark unless there's a hat. Hat Clark only exists. It's like Hat Clark's like I guess, how do you say it? It's like he's like a corollary to the hat itself. The hat can exist without Hat Clark, but Hat Clark can't exist without the hat. So there's your answer, Rob, and I think your day might be coming true.
No pressure.
Because Hat Clark is back to say hello. It's been a few years, my friends. How have you been? How are your delightful aromatic cigar experiences tonight? Let Hat Clark give you a quick little tasting profile on this cigar that I've got right in front of me right here. Oh, gee willikers. Now that is just an aroma that makes me ask the question, what is that? Shrimp scampi or the Bukkake tab on Pornhub.com. Yeah, it's an aroma that makes me say, is that the Indian buffet on the all-you-can-eat Norwegian cruise liners buffet line? Or is that the first tap of the day when your bartender doesn't clear your tap at the local tab? It's a delightful aroma. Well, thank you for letting Hack Clark come out and play.
And it's back to boring, no fun, Clark. Any news on Thomas Hines Cigar Shop up in Winnipeg? So, actually, funny you mentioned them. We are. I've spoken to Thomas Hines a few times. Really, we're working with Paul Stulak right now to build out the infrastructure necessary for more widespread distribution to shops in Canada. Guys, Canada sucks when it comes to taxes and regulation. Like, tobacco's regulated in the United States. It is really regulated in Canada in a way that makes it an almost unwinnable uphill battle trying to get products to market in Canada, but it's going to happen, and stay tuned on that one. Very blessed to have Virgin Cigars in Raleigh, North Carolina. They have been carrying LCA cigars for years, and that is what got me to subscribe to the club. I remember it was probably July or August of 2020 when LCA was in its infancy. This was a pre-Cookie Lancero LCA. That's like the BC of LCA. And I remember Virgin Cigars. I remember having a conversation with them, and they were just pleasant, open-minded people, and I am very thrilled to count them as part of this movement and that they're here to stay. What are you laughing about over there? Can I get the Year of Puff? I sure can, yeah. Is that your way of saying you want back on camera? No. Well, here, I'll get the actual cigar itself, too. Be back, folks.
I didn't want to lose all the viewers. He's not funny anymore. Business Clark is gone. Business Clark is gone. So we're going to show you this, not the paper towel. This is coming soon. Hat Clark. Couldn't even think of funny stuff to say. Except for a buffet on Norwegian cruise line. Not very funny. Okay, this is the Year of Puff. Now, for those of you that know, we do a spoof on the Chinese Zodiac every year because all of these companies, and no offense to them, some of the companies I like, Maya Selva comes to mind. I like them. They do a Chinese Zodiac, and we do one that's a spoof, and this is my most beautiful work. Shout out to Josh Markle for helping me on this. It's just beautiful. This is the Year of Puff. Okay? And last year, we did Year of the Wabbit. Was that it? It was the Year of the Wabbit. And we almost got sued over it. I mean, I don't even want to get into it. That was a disastrous situation, man. That was really bizarre and weird. And the bunny's disappeared. Where's he gone? If I win, because we're in a battle for this trademark, right? A battle. I filed for it. He filed for it. Except mine was in use already. And if we win, I'm going to give it to him. Because he called me after all that shit went down. And I could hear in his voice. I took it as like, this can't be serious. But I could hear in his voice that he was very serious. And that rabbit thing is his identity. And even though I didn't use the word, he's the bunny. I didn't use the word bunny. I just heard how serious it was to him. And so if I win that trademark, I'm going to give it to him. He can't sue me if I win it first and then give it to him, right? Because they would probably do that. That's the kind of shit I find myself in. I'll like be a nice guy and then get screwed over. Julio Fortis, my brother, man. Where the hell you at? How is the video section of the site doing? Do you send out emails when you add videos? Normally, I get the notification on YouTube and head to the site. You should try to get a notification on Vimeo because that's where we host those videos. It's doing quite well, actually, and it's making people stay on the site longer because there's more content to watch there. So thank you for asking that. For those of you that don't know, if you go to the video section, you can watch a video, and then any of the cigars that were featured in that video will be in the section below where you can put them in your cart. So thank you, Julio. Wow, checking in from the UK. Love what you're doing, bruv. I love that. I got to learn my UK slang, man, when we go out there, because we're going to come to the UK. They're trying to stop us from coming to the UK. The powers that be are trying to stop us from coming into the UK, but you cannot stop community. You cannot. So thank you. Please keep asking your local shops about the LCA and Privada Cigar Club, and I promise you, eventually we're going to get over there and we're going to party like I don't know what, but we're going to party. And you could teach me all the slang. I'm going to come back there talking like I'm a real UK guy from London East End or some shit. I don't know what. I don't know much, but I know it's cool because I know Drake, when he went over there, he had his whole like UK thing that he went through a phase. I'm going to go through my UK phase. The Cross You Out podcast coming out of PrivadaCon 2. What would you fix and what would you keep? Was 2 days too long? Could it all have been in one solid long-ass day? What do you think, William?
I think 2 days was good because you got the time with everybody, you could actually interact with people. I think it was just hot.
Okay. It wasn't even that hot, but okay. I think we did too much. It's like so many meals, so many sandwiches and desserts, and it was a lot. It was a lot. What would I change? I don't know what I would change. Oh, I know what I would change. I would have brought those chairs and tables in much closer to each other. We were so spread out. It's too spread out. That's one thing I would change. If you have any suggestions for me that you think would make the experience better for people attending, please shoot me an email and let me know. And shout out to you. Keep doing your thing, bro. Bruv. Great. Who's responsible for your set decoration on the lives? They deserve a raise. Don't tell them that. I think it's a collective thing, man. You know, like I usually get like a vibe and I'll be like, hey, we should do something in front of the barrels. But then when I come in, Tyler sets it up in a way that I necessarily wasn't thinking. And it looks way better than I thought it was going to turn out. So also we can move this stuff here for some pictures and stuff. And so it was kind of set up similar. So it's cool. And this table just got here. So came from the garage. So thank you, man. Set design has always been my thing. I've spent thousands of dollars on painting this place, drywall, lights, all that stuff. So I love PrivadaCon 2. 2 days was okay. Even without shade, I still had a blast. So he was hot. He was hot. Jared Parsons, my brother. 2 days too much? Nah, make it a week. Okay. Maybe it's at different venues, though. What you know about that? It's just too hard to set up. So much money, man. The tables and chairs. Dion, my brother. If you guys are in Chicago area, go to Jerk, Caribbean restaurant Jerk. What's your favorite rum to sip on while enjoying a smoke for us rum lovers? Well, I am partial to a rum that no one likes. Well, let me stop that. I am partial to a rum that only like hardcore spirit people like. It's called Probitas, and it is absolutely fucking amazing. Shout out to Richard Seal and the Seal family. I'm also partial to his other rums, which are Foursquare. Foursquare is an amazing rum. It's a little expensive, but it's the way this man does it is gourmet. And then he also has a RL Seal rum, which is a very inexpensive rum in a cool bottle, and that's very good. If I couldn't find any of those, I like Jamaican rum, man. Jamaican me crazy, man. I love Jamaican rum, and I'm trying to get my hands on some. Deem Kolenk, is there a smoother cigar than the Lumina Lancero? Because that is insanely smooth cigar. If so, please tell me. I don't know if there is. I think that's one of the better, Cuban style cigars on the market, and it's fantastic. I would say anything from De Crossier is going to be great. Smooth. Uncle Paulie's Deli. Shout out to Uncle Paulie. Shout out to Paul, my man. Brian, I love that each cigar has the maker's name on it. I try to always do that. They deserve the credit for that work. You know, brands. I'm basically a brand, right? I'm a retailer, but I'm also like basically a brand because I go and find these manufacturers, make the product, and sell it here. But I always put who made it and why they made it, and I try to get as much info from them as possible. A lot of these guys weren't used to that, and so they're a little like taken back, but now they've gotten used to it. And so thank you, William, for recognizing that. Charles, you got to join Privada Cigar Club Rare. It's the first one on the list, and it's a must. That is the club that made us famous. I pour my heart and soul into it every single month. Tasting notes, the cards that it comes with, they're collectible. The cigars are collectible. I say one to ash. What was it? What would we used to say? One to ash, one to stash. But farm rolled is really great for your daily smokes. And if you want to try cigars from just standard brands like you would get from other Cigar of the Month clubs, except we dig a little deeper, Brian's box is very cool too. All great values for what you're getting. I'm going to wrap this up here pretty soon. The cigar's almost gone. I'm hot. I feel hot. Brian. Sean Fitzpatrick. Brian, I subscribe to another monthly subscription. The cigars are crap. And I'm going to double up on my subscription with you. Sean, thank you so much. I'm not here to put people out of business, but the amount of time and effort and energy that goes into this, no one else is doing. And that's the reason why we're winning. And it's because I love this. This is what I was looking for as a consumer, and I couldn't really find. The closest thing I could find to it was finding rare cigars that were reviewed on sites like Half Wheel and Catman and all that stuff, and I would read their reviews while I smoked those cigars. But again, they didn't have the pairing notes. It wasn't sent to my house directly. Like I had to go digging around. So there's really nothing like this, and I'm proud that we were able to bring that to the market, and it certainly worked. And Sean, I appreciate you, man. I hope you stick around until the wheels fall off. Okay, Brian Hayes, nice name. The Bat was one of my favorite Privada experiences. Any plans for another deconstructed cigar experience? Probably not anytime soon. Why? Because most people aren't willing to do that. Shout out to Espinosa, all his people there. They put a year plus worth of work into that. It was not easy. I think we have 135 boxes left, and then they're all gone. And it is something to have in your collection. It is special. It is rare. It is unique. And it is flavorful as all hell. So thank you for recognizing that, Brian. You have a great palate, man. Ricardo, I'm noticing couples up here in these pictures. I love that, man. It's a good sign. I know you said you moved, but are you, Privada, still based in Orlando? Yes, 100%. I just moved across town. That's it. Kat, my people, mi gente in Miami. Hey, Brian. So when are we getting the glimpse of Privada coffee with a cigar? Well, Kat, I'm glad that you asked that. Willie B, Mr. Bronx, when will the coffee roaster be arriving?
30 to 45 days.
Two months from now, my wife will be somewhere back there or in one of these warehouses with I'm gonna make her wear a no, not a hairnet, like the pinup girls of the bandana, I'm gonna make her wear a bandana, and she's gonna have like those things you wear when you're cooking, and she's gonna be she's gonna go from her luxury kitchen to a hot ass coffee roastery that we're gonna turn this place into. And so I'm looking forward to that. And thank you for asking that, Kat. 2 months from now, you should be seeing those coffees and pairings become available. Rob, my man. Damn, you've been with me a long time. First, I made the best decision buying my first farm rolled many a year ago. What would you like to see in the next 5 years for Privada? I'm going to put this out, Rob. I'm going to take my last puff. Actually, might not. What I would like to see for Privada is worldwide recognition and community. I like for what you guys discovered here for other people all over the world to discover, so that the community becomes stronger and allows me to become a better partner to my manufacturers. I would then like to use that influence, that buying power that you guys support me with, to be able to get the actual cigar makers to collaborate in 2, 3, and sometimes 4 quattro collaboration. I don't know what the hell you're four, 3. I'd love to see 3 cigar bands on a cigar from 3 different factories. One that's known for their, I don't want to give anyone ideas in my industry. So one that's known for this special tobacco, one that's known for, and they come together. And, AJ and Hochi Blanco did a cigar together that's fantastic. There is a lot of room for collaboration, and I'm making good friends with a lot of the growers in this industry, and I believe it's going to allow me to get them to come together with people that they've never worked with in the past to make some of the most special, unique cigars. I think the club will always be here, but I think the LCA will become a dominating thing in smaller brick and mortar shops. I think that Privada will start to have their mainstay brands that will be available in some commercial, locations, liquor chains, stuff like that. But I'm never going to lose that homemade, that special, unique, rare thing, that limited edition thing for the smaller shops in the club. And so that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing us basically adding new countries, new community, and being able to use that buying power to make even more special cigars. So that's where my head is at. And thank you for asking that, Rob. You are a huge support. And every time I see your name in the inbox, I'm very happy, and in comments. Joe, any more new barrel-aged cigars coming to the club? Well, we're releasing, William, you mind grabbing the bag over there? So we're releasing, you guys got a 54 ring gauge in the club. At PrivadaCon, they got a 50 ring gauge. Bottom line is, I think we've found the perfect blend for barrel aging. Barrel aged cigars have to have a very thick, resilient wrapper. Otherwise, they split while they're aging. We've lost thousands of cigars doing this. And so this is what the stand looks like. I hope that you see this in your local shops, and we'll be making more. Unfortunately, to make these in a large production scale, it would just be really, really hard. So they'll always be limited. They'll probably be empty often. And this broadleaf with Nicaraguan fillers really, really does well and ages well in those barrels. So I'll probably always, Joe, once a year, I'll try a different cigar in there. But for the most part, I think this is the right blend for barrel aging. And I'm glad that we found it somewhat quickly. We still have a lot of barrel age left from that Sumatra. And that's still available. And everyone that tries them says it's like next level. So enjoy them. Nubbing this. Where's my cigar pointer? I never use those things. I always find that really weird. It's like roach clips. Okay, Cliff, my brother, when did you decide that showing underbelly of where and how cigars are produced was just as important as saying the cigar is great? The history is my wheelhouse. I started this club as a marketing company, believe it or not. That's how I thought it was going to be. I started it to take cigar brands and be able to tell their stories, because really they want to be able to tell their stories. It's called content, right? Very few brands recognized me for that right away. And even the ones that did seemed to garner a little bit of jealousy and envy right away because of how popular we became and how quickly we became so popular. That forced me to go around them to the actual manufacturers. And then I got to see what I would call an injustice, which was these wonderful people were actually the people that were creating these cigars that other guys like myself were going out and getting famous for and not giving those people credit for. And I'm a bully's bully. I used to be the guy that if I saw someone picking on someone, I'd have to stick up for that kid, right? And so it kind of feeds into that thing that, these people weren't getting credit, and I wanted to give them credit. And I figured out very early that a lot of brands were lying about things, and so the only way to find the truth was to go to the source. And so it's truly important. And I'm also a history buff, and it feeds into that, doesn't it? So that's that. I think we're done here, man. Mm. Mm. Roasted almonds coming in at the end there. Okay, I'm going to powerhouse through these. Ready? Power run. Paul Beckton. Is there a way to gift one of the monthly boxes without subscription to get my brother-in-law hooked like I am? Yes, it is, Paul. Great idea. Go under gift box. You can buy a box of the rare subscription and get that out. Tyler Morgan. The Cyrus Holdfast cigar is fantastic. What's your go-to pair with it? To me, it's very similar to this in the sense of Habano, sun-grown. It has that Colombian thing going on, in which case I also recommend that raspberry Snapple, man. I love that. Ice-cold raspberry Snapple. Any of the peach or apricot teas are going to go well with this with a little honey. You could even throw some cinnamon in there. You're really getting into Habano territory there, Tyler. Thank you for the question. I love the picture, by the way. I see. Lee Mac, it was interesting to find a spark plug in a recent farm roll pack. How the hell did that happen? Do you remember CAO took over the farm roll about 4 years ago? And everyone hated me for it. How dare you put a commercial brand in our beautiful Privada Club packaging? This is the wrong thing to do. I said, fuck it, I'll never do it again. And somehow, in one of the coolers, they were sitting around and they ended up in the farm roll. I don't know how that happened. It was kind of a mistake. But that was from that original release. So those are like 3-4 years aged. Mike in West Palm Beach, you hear from any cigar makers from your post about what cigar would these sports teams like? No brands call me. I swear to you, Mike, no one ever says, hey, man, I need help with my marketing. Or, hey, everyone thinks that we're like this hot potato. And like, if you get caught with us, you're going to be in trouble. The powers that be aren't going to, man, those people aren't helping you anyway. So, no, I haven't, and I don't understand why. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing those posts. I keep getting reported every single day on social media. It's been a nightmare. So, thank you for your comments, though, Mike. I really appreciate that. A Google account. I don't know how I got here. Are Bance's brand cigars still made? They're decent cigars as far as in a package. Italian parody of Marsh Wheelings are all right. I have no clue what you're talking about, but I'm going to Google that sometime. Thank you, a Google account. Recap the game. Do you find that the coolers store aged cigars better than a walk-in style, and that you find at your local humidor? Absolutely, 100%. Is it just based on closer humidity control? There you have it. It's also based on no water in the air. Boom, you freaking win it. Scorch Fiend. I picked up the Diver a year ago. What a cool band that was. That was so hard to make. A year or so ago before I joined the club. What was the story with that cigar? Who made that cigar for us? I got to look up. I'm sure someone has it listed somewhere if you Google that. Was it J.C. Newman? No, it wasn't J.C. Newman. Who was it? Okay, we'll find out for you in a second. Tyson, Paul. Who wins? What do you mean who wins? Didn't Tyson whoop his ass already? What are you talking about? He got knocked out in like the first round. Yeah, it happened already. If it didn't happen, I swear to you, I had a vivid memory of hearing that he got knocked out in the first round. Paul got knocked out in the first round. Pretty sure that happened already. Mike's a real Weisenheimer, though. He would ask a question like that knowing that it already. Sandy at El Titan still mad. Yes. Yes, they are. Visited them, and it was amazing. It is an amazing place. I love them. I don't know why they got so upset with me over that. Giselle really likes to yell at me, and she's mean. Shout out to Giselle. I love you guys. I think of you guys like family. I hope that you will always be nice to me, even though, whatever. I'm not sure what happened there. When are you going to write the official Bravada theme song? Never. I never write music. I never sing. I never do any of that. Travis and Jesse, here in Colorado, I'm smoking at about 7,000 feet. Do you think elevation changes cigars or humidity? Absolutely it does. You need to extra humidify your cigars, and you're already acclimated to that, right? So it's not that big a deal, but yes, it is changing your cigar smoking experience 100%. You need to go down to Albuquerque one day and smoke those same cigars. Take your notes from Colorado, bring them down to Albuquerque, or not Santa Fe. Bring them down to Albuquerque, smoke them down there, and tell me how they taste. What do you recommend over? What cut do you? Straight cut. Hey, punch is fine. I'm just not a V-cut guy. V-cut changes a cigar. Makes it way too smooth for me. I don't look for smooth per se. I want all the nuances. I want to taste those rough edges if there are any. Romeo, Brian, subscriber for 3 years now. Thank you, Romeo. Cool name, by the way. What's the process to find those old, yummy, rare cigars you get? Well, the process is to age them yourself, right? Because that's when you know that they're really aged. I also hooked up with a couple of factories that just could not get their cigars sold here in the States. They sell in Europe and they sell in small amounts. And they've been sitting on cigars for quite a while, and I was able to capitalize on that. When I find aged cigars that are really good, I pick them up and keep them because I know they're aged for 2 years there, and then I end up keeping them for 2-3 years, and before you know it, they're 5 years aged. So, Christian Phillips, the Volute is my favorite cigar. Father's Day will be half price. Any chance you plan on doing any more cigars from Peru? It's funny that you say that. I just got a call from Peru. They want to do a cigar with us directly, and I'm really interested in that, and we're going to do it. So I'm working on some blends with them. Brian, can you make a cigar with Canadian tobacco? I've tried CAL, who made one with Canadian tobacco, but with love, one day I would like to do that. Been a member for 4 years, Brian Hayes. Thank you so much, Brian. I have 2 kids since I joined in 2020, and I love that through all the changes in my life, Brian and Bravada don't change. Still the best. Damn, I love that, man. You guys are going to make me cry out here. Thank you so much. Who? The diver. What are the? It was a JC Newman. I knew that. Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. Colombian binder.
Fillers from Esteli, Nicaragua, Hamastron, and
Jamaica. Jamaica me crazy, man. Second time I dropped that tonight. Do you still have a relationship with Cigar Obsession? JD the Red. I could call him at any time. Brian Glenn was a big support to me at one point in my career. He's disappeared from YouTube and stuff, and I see why now. I'm going through the same thing that man went through. I'm not going to stop because I can't. This is my only way to communicate with you guys. Rumble ain't it for me. I'm afraid if I went on Rumble, I would turn into some sort of rebel. I don't know what goes on Rumble, but yeah, man, cool dude, still doing his thing. Find him on social medias. Brian Glenn is part of the reason why I'm doing this. I want to do a documentary on the guy. He's not that interested. How does the club come up with all the new cigar names and sticks? Comes right out of this brain right here. I was a songwriter. I'm a creative person, and I smoke cigars. They remind me of things, and then I jump all over it. Thank you, Joe. Great questions, Joe. Appreciate you, man. Cross You Out podcast. How excited are you for the Whole Fast cigar? Okay, so let's talk about it. The Whole Fast cigar is finally here. It's been released to shops. Tonight, it goes live on the site. And in 2 weeks from now, on the 29th, taking my wife on a quick trip, and then I'm going to go to Jeremy Sire's house. Tyler, you're coming with me. And we're going to film and have a great old time with Jeremy and Allison, Big Al. I finally get to sit at his bar in his room, which he told me is tiny. He's like, it's really small here. I don't know how we're all going to fit. But we're going there, and we're going to smoke that on the 29th. That's going to be a smoke live on his channel. I can't wait. I hope you join. Please grab your Whole Fast from the site now. Joe Dominguez, just an idea. Leather cigar holders for the shop. Love Bravada leather cutter holder. You know, Caseworks is amazing. And I started to work with them on individual leather cases, but it never came to fruition. I should call Casey up sometime because he makes fantastic products that I still use to this day, and I love that. and it's more luxurious than even Louis Vuitton. They don't use leather, by the way. Okay, can we get this cigar in Toro? No, I don't have this cigar in Toro. The hold fast is not that much different from this. The blend is different, but what? You have a cigar? Oh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Not this exact cigar, no. Can we ever have a barrel-aged cigar done with Crown Royal as it comes from Monte? You know what? Maybe we could do that. I would be interested in doing that. Is that Puff Daddy cigar, Brian? No, it is not. No Diddy over here. Thank you, William. It is. It's the nicest packaging we've ever done. Christian F. DeCrossier, Brian, I still dream of the breakfast cigar from the first PrivadaCon. Keep doing what you do. F the haters. Thank you, Christian. And that is the Lumina in the 6x46. What did you do before Privada? Steven and Tash. I love all these couples. And that's a really good sign for me for some reason. I was a singer-songwriter most of my life. I've had multiple record deals. I was LL Cool J's protege. I've worked with Cash Money Records. I've done a lot of things in the music industry, and I never really got that song on the radio that I really wanted. And then I found touring. I went out with a group called Rehab, toured in smaller markets, and decided that that was not the lifestyle for me. I didn't see that being my future, and so I stopped doing that. I moved to Miami, and for no reason, just to get away from people, places, things. I was also on drugs, and I decided. I ended up in the auto transport industry. I became an auto transport broker. I made a pretty fair amount of money, as much money as I ever dreamed of making per year. Doing that, I led a wild, crazy life. Then I met my wife. We did it together. We stacked a lot of money, and we eventually started 2 companies. The club was one of them. The other was a bamboo underwear and sock company that never went anywhere. Best socks you'll ever try in your life. Oh, yeah. I never gave you a pair of Sumer? Okay. Yep. Clark, what's your favorite video you got help to make in the club? You and Brian have had so many hilarious and incredible moments. My favorite was the Lady Killer cigar.
That was a pretty fun one. I liked the Zhaji Bobby Halloween video we did, just simply because I scared you pretty good in that one.
Yes, you did scare me.
That was a pretty fun moment.
I love the From Chico. That was the best.
Oh, that was...
Oh, we were canceled from LCA shops because Clark was cross-dressing, and they didn't like that. I found that to be really weird. Weird that someone would cancel over a spoof, can we get a okay. WNBC. No, Howard. It's WNBC. There you have it. I still love doing that. Still do it in my car alone. WNBC. Pig vomit. Shout out to the Privada bamboo shirt. Yes, that was a product of those days. That was a cool shirt. That thing will last you forever. Never shrinks. That was it. I made it through all of them. I'm not a crook. I love you guys. That was Nixon for those young folks out there. There's a really great show I want to tell you about called The White House Plumbers. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I thought my wife would love it. She watched it. She falls asleep every time. So also check out the Wes Anderson Mont Blanc advertising campaign. I love it. I love it. I love it. Those are the videos, Tyler, I wish we could do if we had those kind of resources. Jesus, this guy's so good. Asteroid City, I thought it was his worst movie. I now think it's maybe his best movie. That's it. How beautiful are these, though? Aren't they so nice? They just look creamy, and you want to, like a root beer. You just want to grab them. I need a root beer, actually. On the way home, I'm going to get a root beer. I've eaten so poorly today. It's.
Can we get one more look at the year of Puff?
This is the year of Puff. Our Year of the Dragon spoof. It uses a gold foiling that's never been used on a cigar box before. Are you getting? It's like blurry, too blurry.
Are you being a dragon over there?
Yeah. Look at that foil. It's like metal brushed. And Nicaraguan puro. You see the scales of a dragon? How cool is that, huh? And then the cigar, it's just a box. You're just buying the box. You don't actually get a cigar in it. Can you imagine? He's not funny anymore. Business Clark. Boom, baby. This is going to be hot. And thank you guys for making the pig the hottest cigar in America last month, man. Holy wow. Sham wow. Remember Vince? Sham wow. That cigar went viral, viral, viral. What else came out with it? Raspberry Beret. Also, El Titan de Bronze crushing it. Come on, El Titan. I represent you guys very well. I can't help it that William Branca is a real piece of work. Okay. Hashtag We Are Privada. Hashtag I will see you on the next Smoke Live. Probably in a month from now. It's going to be the Norwegian Legion, the Norway cigar. I promised Privada members they would be able to get our European releases. This is going to be a one-time that you can get it. It is amazing. We'll start with the Norwegian Legion. We'll go to the Budapest, the Cigar Fest in Budapest, Privada Fest Budapest, and then we will go to the Berlin cigar. And we can all talk about the injustices of the world. I love you guys. I'm going home now, and this is past my bedtime. Peace in the Middle East, for real. What is this? Come on, what are you doing here? Give this man a cigar. Would you give him a cigar? Look, okay. The baby's gonna smoke a cigarette. You see that?
Crazy.
This is how silly things get when you let government take over everything. Unbelievable. That kid's gonna grab a cigarette. Here you go. This is for you.
Whoa!
Instead of cigarette. No more cigarettes. Cigar.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Now you're
Spreading cigar culture all through the world.
We are.
Take a puff.
We are Privada.
And because of you guys, now we're going from here. We're going to Budapest, and then we're going to Berlin. They saw you guys enjoying these things, and they said, "Okay, it's time to bring them over." So I think that's how things spread, right?
you, man.
Real pessimistic guy. We made this cigar for a Norway party called the Norwegian Legion.
I'm a fan. Not bad. Pretty good.
Hooligan. Okay.
Listen to that sound.
That's amazing.
You can't experience that in the United States. Ever.
No. We're too important. We're not going to listen to you.
What is up with that shit?
And this is for all the Privada members worldwide. Thank you. So we believe that this picture this is the most famous picture on the wall now, and this picture depicts the leaders of both sides making out, which is pretty ironic and cool. That's something that I would do if I was an artist, just to be a pain in the ass and see these two powerful guys have to look at each other kiss every day. Maybe I should do that on a cigar band.
lo siento yo. Como bailalo, gózalo, como lo canto y lo siento yo. Como bailalo, siento yo. Como bailalo, gózalo, bailalo, gózalo. Bailalo, gózalo, como lo canto y lo siento yo. Como bailalo, gózalo, como lo canto y lo siento yo.